Hi, this is Stephen Poff, and today I'm here to talk about the iRig and its companion app for the iPhone called Amplitube. The iRig is an interface that's used to get your instrument or guitar into the iPad, the iPod Touch, or the iPhone. It has a 1/4-inch input, an 1/8-inch headphone or a line out, and it also has an 1/8-inch input that goes into your device. The companion app is called Amplitube. Basically, it is an amp simulator, and it has several effects and things built in. So let's go ahead and get started. As when you open up the app, it's already on the setting for the clean. This is kind of based off like a little Fender amp. As you can see, it's actually kind of a pretty sound. Now, on the iPad, the interface is a lot bigger and you have kind of the full amp in front of you, but for the iPhone they've done a really good job. By the way, this is a really beautiful interface, but they've done a good job of kind of maximizing the space. Here at the top you have your tools, which include a metronome. You have a tuner, also some audio demos here, which allow you to kind of test out the app. But let's kind of delve into the amps and things themselves. Alright, so again, this is kind of the clean version here. At the top, it allows you to choose your volume, bass, and mid, but there's the rest is kind of hidden when you slide the app this way. The dials change. You've got treble, presence, reverb, and you've got a little bit of a tremolo. Now, you can either touch the dials and move up or down, or you can touch them and then over here it makes it kind of easy for you to kind of adjust this way. Now, on each amp, you have the opportunity to change the speaker configuration. You have, like here, this is a 112 cabinet. It's two 12-inch speakers there. That is that's the first 4x12 that they have. They have 4x12A and a 4x12B. As you can see, they all have their own unique characteristics. They also have different mic configurations. As you can see, this one is sort of based on the SM57, and then they also have another one which is more like a U87. Has a little more bottom end to it. It's a little richer sounding, but it's not quite as it's not quite as bright on the top end. So that's the clean amp. Now they also have different amps here. So at the top you can see where it says clean, crunch. There's crunch. There's a lead amp. A metal amp. And then of course they've got a bass input. Now let's talk about some of the other things that they have. I'm going to go back to clean. They have, you're allowed 3 different effects, and you can choose which effects you want and in what configuration. They have a chorus, which you can change the depth, rate, and level on. They have a flanger. I also kind of like this, that they've got a beats per minute sync on some of these. You can kind of set that up if you go under Tools and set the metronome to whatever your song is. Then you can also tap stuff out right here. Then you can go to your effect and turn the beats per minute sync on, and it'll go ahead and set the rate and depth for you so that it'll match your song. There's a phaser. kind of really good quality effects here. There's your delay. And again, it has a beats per minute sync on it. An octave pedal. You also have a noise filter. Now this is kind of essential on some of the amps and some of the more high gain settings. The iRig seems to have a little bit of noise on the top end that's always coming in. It's not as apparent on these clean settings, but whenever you get to some high gain settings, it's very apparent. The only problem though with the noise filter, even in its lowest setting, you see it eats into your top end. Alright, so there's also the fuzz pedal. Nice. Distortion. And then there's overdrive, which is kind of my favorite to use with the clean amp. There's the wah. Now this is a little bit odd, and I'm sure there's probably someone who's going to find an inventive way to use this. But kind of using this just with your as a practice amp, it's kind of strange. There's on. And you can kind of tilt it with your finger. And there's auto. And then there's tilt, which is a little hard. I can't do it on here because I've got it mounted. But essentially, you can tilt the iPhone forwards and backwards, and it will wah. It sounds very good, but it's just not very practical. There's an envelope filter. So the other thing I like about this app is the ability to import a song and be able to play a part, to loop a part over and over, so that you could either learn a solo or to develop a solo if you're working on something of your own. And that's what I'm doing. I've ported a song of mine called Sing Along Song, and I've set up a loop point. I've set an A and a B point so it will loop between the two, and I can kind of play the solo as many times as I want until I get it right. So here we go. I'm going to try that out. So there you go, that's another cool feature of Amplitube. The iRig plus Amplitube really is a great little effects package. It's very low cost when you think about all the effects that you get and all the amps that you get. You could also use it, throw it into your guitar case, and if something was wrong with your rig one night, you could theoretically plug this into your like a mixer or your live PA or something like that, and use this as a backup. So since the iRig seems to be an inexpensive way to get your guitar or instrument into the iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch, it seems natural that you would want to use it with another recording program that they have, recording apps that they have for those devices. So would I use it for that? If I were only doing scratch tracks, or just doing something as a scratch pad, to kind of work out an idea, yeah, I might do that. If I were trying to create some final, something that could be used in the final mix, I don't think so. In this following example, I'm going to show you why. both guitars were recorded using a metronome so that I could use the same song, the same guitar, and play at the exact same time so you could hear the difference between the two. On the first track that was recorded with another interface using the dot connector, it was very clean, while the second track recorded with the iRig had a lot of hiss to it, and also there was some crosstalk between the channels. You can hear the metronome coming back through the track. Now imagine the implications of that if you're recording a vocal track. In the end, you wouldn't have a clean track to work with if you were going to try to add effects or anything to it, because you would have all those parts feeding right back into the input, and your vocal track would be cluttered with all of these tracks. So anyway, no, I would not use it for that. There are other better solutions for that. But in the end, Amplitube is a great app, and the iRig is a great interface for it, and they sound good together. And I would recommend it as a little practice amp. So anyway, thanks for watching. This is Stephen Poff, and I'll see you next time.